Good morning, A Pushers. So this is the video for you guys to watch for Wednesday of this week, where I'm going to talk about the different types of DBQ questions. Okay, hopefully you've already on Monday watched the introductory either from me or Miss Leeton about how the test is going to look, which it's going to be 1 DBQ, 5 documents, 45 minutes, online, at home. I think that's good news. I think you guys will do a fabulous job. And we've got 5 weeks to practice this. So I think that's really great. So all year long, we talked about there's only 3 types of DBQ questions, okay? And the first type of question is a causation question, cause effect. You guys are familiar with this. The question's probably only going to ask you either to describe the causes and or the effects. And remember, for that complexity point, for all 3 types of questions, for whatever part of the question they are not asking you about, if you can explain or answer the question that they're not asking you, that's a way to get that complexity point, okay? Now, this is a new rubric. It's a 10-point rubric. There are links on Google Classroom for you to look at that. Basically, the rubric stayed the same, other than adding, you need an additional piece of outside information. Otherwise, the things that you do in a DBQ, you need to continue to do. You need to use all 5 documents. You need to cap. On the rubric, you need to cap 2. I would say cap 3 or 4 if you have time, okay? Just so in case you miss one. All that's the same as what we've taught all year. For cause effect, if it is a cause effect question, this is the graphic organizer that you are going to use. And of course, this is labeled for causes, okay? If it was for asking you for effects, okay, if it's causes, you're going to put your causes right here. The 3 causes lead to, and here is your effect, okay? If it is the opposite of that, then obviously you would put effects up here, right? Okay. And the cause here led to, and your arrow would go the other way, okay? Now, remember, the reason we use these graphic organizers is once you have this graphic organizer filled out, this becomes your thesis statement, okay? You're going to turn, these become your categories, your body paragraphs, and this whole thing becomes your thesis statement. You can refer to the Irish writing packet that is linked in Google Classroom. All right, the next type of question is a causation question. I'm sorry, this is just more information on causation. Okay, so here's an example of question. Evaluate the relative importance of different causes for the expanding role of the United States in the world from 1865 to 1910. So that would be an example of the of a causation question. So you should ask yourself first, what thinking skills being asked? Well, it's causation, cause effect. What's the overall topic? Well, here's the theme, America in the world. And is there any themes given to me? Like, did it ask me economic, political, social causes? No, it didn't. So you're going to get to create your own categories. And is there a time frame? Yes, 1865 to 1910. Okay, so if we look at how that could be filled out, okay, here is an example of that. And again, all of this is posted. This PDF is in Google Classroom for you guys. Okay, once the information is organized, okay, then you need to determine what your argument's going to be. So if it says evaluate the relative importance of, we've talked about that all year, you have to rank them, okay? Rank the different causes. Okay, next, let's see, comparison. The next type of question is comparison. Describe the similarities and or differences, okay? And remember, the question will probably only ask you for one of those, either similarities and or differences, not both. But if you can talk about both, that gets you the complexity point. Okay, here is the graphic organizer that we use for that, where we put, it's like a Venn diagram where you put your similarities in the middle, your differences over here. once this gets organized, then this becomes your thesis statement. So a question for an example would be, evaluate the extent of similarities between the Chesapeake and New England colonies in North America between 1607 and 1754. We had this exact DBQ earlier in the year. You might want to look back through your notes. You guys outlined this DBQ. So again, the first thing you're going to ask yourself, what type of question is it? It's a comparison. And it is, the overall topic is comparing those two different regions. Was there any theme given? No. So you could talk about the economics, the similarities between their economics, the similarities between their culture, the similarities between their geography. It's up to you, and it depends on the documents. You are given a time frame, 1607 to 1754. Okay. The last type of question, the third and last type, is continuity and change, okay, where you're going to describe either patterns of continuity, what stayed the same, what changed over time, okay. So the graphic organizer that we use for this looks like this, just a T-chart where changes are on one side and continuities are on the other. All right. So here's an example question. Evaluate the extent of change in the United States foreign policy between 1783 and 1828. Okay, so the first thing you ask yourself again is, what type of question is it? It's a continuity and change question. Is there an overall topic? Yes. America in the world. Be thinking foreign policy. Okay. Is there a theme I'm given to write on? No. And fourth, what are the parameters 1783 to 1828? Okay. All right. So once that information is organized, you will determine your argument is going to be with regard to the prompt. Again, if it says evaluate the extent of change, was it a large extent, small extent? You know, remember how we talked about ranking things or using those adjectives to address that part of the prompt. Okay. So for Wednesday, on your assignment, you have a DBQ, and you're going to obviously look through that DBQ, and then I've given you a graphic organizer, and you're going to determine what type of question it is, and then you're going to fill out the graphic organizer. Okay? All right, so I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, please just let me know, and if you guys want to, I'll be Zooming with you guys on Friday at 10 o'clock. All right, see you later. Bye.